How's everybody doing today?
Yeah.
That's a song called Watermelon Hanging on the Vine. It's been used a lot of times by different bands to start their shows off. It's a good intro song.
Short and to the point. We'd just like to welcome you here today to our first workshop we're doing as the Glenville State College Bluegrass Band. So we're happy to have you both out here today. Glad that you could make it.
Just going to talk a little about the history of bluegrass and kind of what shaped it. Jordan, you want to start us off?
Yeah, well, the father of bluegrass music is a guy by the name of Bill Monroe. And the reason he's known as the father of bluegrass music is because in 1946, his band came together, and he had Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, which later went on to be Flatt and Scruggs and the Foggy Mountain Boys, playing in his band. And Earl Scruggs was the innovator of the modern 5-string banjo sound. We don't have a banjo with us right now, it's just the basis of what all bluegrass banjo playing went on to be. And he mixed different styles of music. He mixed old-timey fiddle playing. He mixed Celtic sounds. He mixed bluesy sounds, and it was all wrapped up in a big package, and it became bluegrass music.
Jazz and gospel.
Yeah, there's some jazz and gospel. And Bill was born in Rosine, Kentucky, and his grandfather, or not grandfather, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said grandfather, his uncle Penn was a fiddle player, and there's actually a song by the name of Uncle Penn where he talks about how his uncle would come to square dances around the area and play the fiddle, and that was his first real musical influence, was his Uncle Penn. There was also a blues guitarist from that area named Arnold Schultz, who made a big influence, and that's a lot of where the blues influence came into bluegrass music. And Bill played the mandolin as his main instrument later in life, but at that time I believe he was playing guitar. He played a really bluesy style mandolin. I don't know, Ryan, if you'd like to show a couple Bill Monroe licks or something.
Yeah, you use a thicker pick also. Did a lot of downstrokes with this pick.
And he was the first really to play the mandolin in that style. The mandolin is really, I guess, a classical instrument. It comes from Italy. It's an Italian instrument. I don't know if anybody else has something to add to Bill Monroe portion, or
The name of his band was Bluegrass Boys. I don't know if that was mentioned. He called himself Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys.
and that's actually how the name bluegrass music came to be. He didn't name his band the Bluegrass Boys after bluegrass music. A lot of people think that he named the band after bluegrass music, but he just named it after his home state, Kentucky, which is a bluegrass state. And later on, just because everybody has known Bill Monroe as the father of bluegrass music, later in his career they just started calling it bluegrass music to separate from other styles of country and folk music.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the band and introduce some of the instruments that we have with us today. Like I said, we don't have a banjo with us today, but one of the fundamental elements of bluegrass music, and really any music, is rhythm. And this is Jordan Young, if you didn't introduce himself. Well, yeah, I think you already did. But could you just demonstrate maybe just some basic rhythm used in bluegrass?
For basic bluegrass rhythm, it would be something like. And it's really repetitive, you know. You'll put some runs in or something like that, but just rhythm. Just real simple. Actually sounds a lot like the bass when you think about it like
And it's also playing off the beat with the mandolin and other chopping instruments. So it's sort of like I've heard it called the drum set of the bluegrass band, just because it kind of keeps the beat, keeps the offbeat, keeps everything together, something to go off of.
very true.
Very true. And Jordan, could you talk about some maybe influential guitar players that are in bluegrass music?
Well, early on in bluegrass music, Larry Sparks was really one of the first lead guitar players. There was some other ones before him, but people like Doc Watson, he had a complete different style than I played personally. He played with finger picks, I'm pretty sure. But the style I play, today's bluegrass music is a lot different, and like today's rhythm has changed from traditional bluegrass music. But some of my favorite guitar players and most influential the genre, I think, are people like Larry Sparks, Taylor Ice, Doc Watson. Just you could keep naming names. But for me, the one is Tony Rice for me.
Well, I guess we'll move on here to Ryan. Ryan plays the mandolin. He's Ryan Spansburg from Madison, Ohio. And some influential mandolin players, I'd have to say, would be Jesse McReynolds. And at least that's the kind of style that you like to play. I know that.
I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Okay. Could you maybe demonstrate the difference between his style and other styles?
Well, we talked about Bill Monroe, and he uses a thicker pick and plays with a straight down picking style and a lot of the blues. And he also uses his wrist more, or he actually uses his elbow to pivot to play fast notes. But Jesse McReynolds styled the mandolin more after a banjo with the three finger rolling pattern. So he decided he was going to use more of a medium style pick. It's more flexible and it actually fits between the sets of strings. So you can have patterns of rolling like a banjo. It's got really clean notes, just a lot of real quick notes happening, and it's just, yeah, like I said, he wanted to mimic the sound of the banjo.
Alright. Okay, so I guess we'll move on over here to Lakin and Robbie. This is Robbie Man and Lakin Boy. And they they both play fiddle, obviously, because they're holding them, but they do a lot of twin fiddling. With a lot of, I know with twin fiddling, you always hear like a lead harmony and then a harmony. So can you guys talk about that, maybe demonstrate it for us today?
And certainly demonstrate. There's not much more to say other than there's generally a melody and a harmony.
It's sometimes you like to invite a second fiddle player in because sometimes it's just ridiculous to play a pair of notes together by yourself. It's should be humanly impossible. I've seen people do it. Yeah, I feel spiteful towards those people.
Just, how about Luminous Forming Horizons? Is that
Yeah, that works. If you want to show a difference, how about you
Yeah. So this is what the lead by itself would sound like. Then if you add the harmony, or the twinning, in with it, it sounds like this. You want to turn it on? You can tell it just adds another layer and gives it more a fuller sound.
Alright, so Brittany over here, Brittany McGuire, she plays guitar, but she also has kind of an odd instrument that you don't see every day, and it's called an auto harp. Mother Maybelle Carter is one of the very prominent women of in the old style of bluegrass who kind of brought that to the light and brought that in the spotlight. So, Brittany, can you maybe demonstrate?
Yeah, I'll demonstrate. The Carter family is really well known for the song Wildwood Flower, and the auto harp is a really important instrument in that, actually. It plays the melody some, which is kind of like a... to a lot of Carter family's music. You can hear the auto harp in the background, and it just kind of has like it almost sounds like a galloping kind of a rhythm, like a...
sometimes, and I guess I'll just demonstrate that a little bit. I don't know, the bass is kind of like the kind of the backbone. It's another thing that has to do a lot with rhythm in bluegrass music. It just kind of holds the band together. And so you guys want me to do a bit of Stormy Horizons? And that just kind of demonstrates kind of the full sound and how the band just comes together whenever you apply all the instruments. Another thing to do with bluegrass music is, of course, the tight harmonies and how the full sound whenever you have a song comes together. And I think, girls, do we have a song that we can demonstrate those harmonies with?
Yeah, we should move in closer. It's easier to hear each other and get a tighter harmony if you're actually physically closer to the people you're singing. Woo!
So you gotta follow your shape.
Just keeping you guys on your toes. I wanted to add a little excitement to this. I'm longing for you, and someday on me I'll stand. There my home will be eternal. Beulah land, sweet Beulah land.
Different parts, the lead and the tenor.
Yeah, so you can see there's all instruments, of course, make up a whole band, and all different components of that make a nice, full, tight sound.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is common themes. And some common themes that you find in bluegrass are, of course, the murdering and killing songs, and also sorrow and just the hardships of everyday life, living and striving in Appalachian and in the mountain regions. And so bluegrass is based on sounds and techniques and styles that have been passed down, and they're passed down not on sheets of music, but by ear, and somebody plays it, and a younger generation or somebody else listens to it, and they learn it, and then it's just passed down through the families, and so that's how music is passed on. And although the melody is important, it's really based on feelings and emotions and things like that. And so, but the lyrics, really, if you listen to the words of a lot of the songs, it's just full of sorrow and just the trials and tribulations of everyday life. And so, a couple examples would be Knoxville Girl, which is about a couple who's courting, and then they go for, the guy comes into town and they go on a walk, and he picks up a stick off of the ground and beats her to death and throws her into the river. And it's a song about him doing that and then going to jail and paying for it. But other than that, like all the good times are past and gone, and songs like that, talking about just living and surviving in the mountains. Well, I have a quote here from Bill Monroe. When he was asked to define the sound, he said, "It's Scottish bagpipes and old-time fiddling. It's Methodist and Holiness and Baptist. It's blues and jazz, and it has a high, lonesome sound." And that's true of bluegrass and just the lyrics themselves, but that combined with solid harmonies really sends it home. And that is that.
And you know, Jordan has an example of
Jordan
that.
has an example. I forgot about that. Killing song,
Yeah,
if you would.
This one's not necessarily as bad as the Knoxville Girl.
Right.
This one is about. It's called Wild Bill Jones. It's about a guy just walking down the road and he sees another guy walking with his girlfriend or what have you, you know, and he gets mad, so he shoots him. and this is the story of that song called Wild Bill Jones.
Music definitely has acted as an outlet for emotion just throughout time. You know, it's just music expresses love and anger and fear and passion passion, anything you can imagine. And that's love is a theme in bluegrass music, and it's one of the dominant themes of it. Just like sorrow and sorrow due to love, because with love comes heartache. And songs like Once More and You Are My Flower and Stepping Stones. Those are all songs that demonstrate love and heartache because of love. And actually, Lincoln and I are going to demonstrate Stepping Stones for you. It's a song about love gone wrong. Yes, it is. At the end.
1 second. I'm sorry. See, I'm not used to it.
And how the harmonies and everything fit together.
Well, another area of bluegrass music is gospel, and that comes from a long line of faith and just people feeling things and having emotion towards their spirituality, and they write powerful songs about it. And bluegrass music is a really good way to share that message with friends and family and other generations, and they can hear the message through song. And it's a really great way to make a setting at church or in any other events that you need it, and it just makes people feel things and they like it.
Also, with gospel, a lot of the times in the hills of Appalachia, you might have a piano in the church, and sometimes you might not. And a lot of the times, they play bluegrass music in churches because somebody might have a banjo, somebody might have guitar or something, and then the church itself might not be able to afford a piano or something like that. And they'd use that to lead the congregation. I've seen churches that still do that today. Here's a good example of one of the old time hymns that is in the gospel bluegrass genre. This is used a whole lot. It's one called "Are You Washed in the Blood?"
Feel free to sing along if you want.
I've been to Jesus for His cleansing power. Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you fully
mention about when you play songs as a bluegrass band, or when you hear them, you often hear each instrument take a break, like as you just demonstrated. Maybe the fiddle will take a break, and that'll be kind of like an instrumental part of the song, part of the melody of the song, after the chorus or after the verses in the song. And then that it switches from instrument to instrument. So twin fiddles will take a break, mandolin will take a break, banjo will take a break, and it's kind of like a unspoken thing, really. It's known in a bluegrass song that that's what's going to happen.
There's the nod. When
Yeah.
you're playing in a group of people, you will
Are you
see
gonna
the
take a
nod
break?
get passed
Are you gonna take a
around.
break?
Occasionally, you'll see the head shake of terror or something.
That's always me.
Yeah, myself. Let's say then what I feel, I mean, we've talked about many of the reasons why people write music and play music. What I'd like to talk about is what I feel is probably the most important excuse of all to get together and listen to music. I mean, it's a good coping method, but most of all, it's great for just having a good time and celebrating. And when you think about it, how many times have you been to a dance, a party? Oh, even a lot of community, events. Excuse me, like fundraisers. I mean, how many times have you been to one where there isn't music somewhere? It lifts your spirits a lot. It really lightens the mood, and a lot of times with bluegrass and folk music, you'll hear not just clapping, but clogging is very popular. Line dancing, square dancing. It's the idea of the music is to make you want to get up and move, enjoy yourself, let loose, let go of your cares in the world, and let's dance and make ourselves all look like a bunch of fools for about 5 minutes. They don't allow me to dance, so I leave that to everybody else. This next tune we're going to play for you is a good old time folk tune, Turkey in the Straw. And I mean, if either of you fine gentlemen feel the need to get up, hoot, holler, and clap your hands, feel free to do so. We have lovely
Come on
dancing
down. We
space
got
down
plenty
here.
of room. Let's kick up your heels.
We'll fit me out.
Alright. I'll go ahead. Oh, yeah, go for it. I'll tuning is another thing. You'll see a lot.
Pauses for tuning is a common occurrence.
It's oriental.
Yeah, this is actually an Oriental song. It's one called Tuning.
Japanese?
This is the point where you don't want to be the person who has to tune because the rest of the band's going to make fun of you for it.
How are we doing for time?
Well, I'm sure we'll be fine once you're done tuning.